Great. So let's welcome our contestant number 5, Avreen. An epiphany in my life. An epiphany in my life, Avreen.
Life is like a roller coaster. It has its ups and downs, but it's your choice to scream or enjoy the ride. Good afternoon, fellow Toastmasters, participants, guests, judges, and contest chair. The lines that I just now quoted are from one of my favorite quotes and one of the very first quote that I ever learned by heart. This became the philosophy of my life at a very young age of 13 years. Little did I know back then that my life was going to take a crazy turn within a few years from then. Let me take you to the beginning of all of this. I was born in a city in Punjab called Amritsar. After my sister was born a few years later, me and my family moved to Dubai, which is a state in the United Arab Emirates, Middle East. Fast forward to the age 11, I realized how passionate I was about music and singing. I always knew that I wanted to learn Hindustani classical music because my grandfather told me that it was the base for learning music. But the challenge in Dubai was finding a Hindustani classically trained teacher. Every year during our summer vacations of about 1.5 months, we would come to India and visit my grandparents. Now, this was the only time during the entire year I would actually get to experience life here firsthand. The busy streets, the crowded shops, and the very frequent power cuts, especially during summertime. Coming into 12th grade was the turning point in my life. It was during this year my parents decided that it was time to move back to India. This, for me and my sister, was one of our worst nightmares. Moving from a place we made all our fond memories, moving from a place where we had all our childhood friends, and moving from a place we called home. That was too much to ask from mere teenagers. Nevertheless, we tried our level best in trying to convince our parents to stay. But you can't really question fate now, can you? Fate had its own plans in store for us. About 3 years later, we moved to Amritsar. And coming here, I realized my life had turned upside down. Although we were here during our summer vacations every year, but the thought of actually living here and going to a completely new school terrified me. The first year was quite tough because I was still resisting the change. It wasn't until I accepted this place that it accepted me in return. Moving to Amritsar turned to be an epiphany for me in my life in 3 ways. First, I finally got to learn Hindustani classical music from a very learned guru who helped me create a foundation in my voice that I had always been looking for. Second, reality finally hit me. Now, back in the 11th grade in Dubai, I had a very chill attitude. I didn't have any specific plans, nor I knew what I was going to do after 12th grade. It was coming here in the school that I saw my peers around me having such clear defined goals about their future. Now, this put me into a healthy competition with myself. And after I realized that, I realized a very important point. That is the importance of planning for my future. Third, I started mastering and honing my craft. I developed a clarity towards my path in music. I found this really amazing online signature songwriting program and a mentor that completely changed my life. So now, when I look back and try to connect the dots, I realize and understand why everything happened a certain way. Now, because of moving here, I got to learn Hindustani classical music. I realized the importance of planning, and I started working towards my craft. Now, if it wasn't for moving here, I would have missed out on all these things. In the end, I would like to conclude a few lines said by Socrates. The secret of change is to focus all of your energy, not on fighting the old, but on creating the new. So the next time you're faced with change, don't resist it, embrace it. Thank you. Over to you, contest chair.